computer. All right, so we have a couple of topics to cover. Being an apps DBA, we need to understand the file system and database features and OEM features. Those things we'll cover today and tomorrow. Very much theoretical thing, but yes, we need to know. So after completing this lesson, you should be able to describe the Oracle E-Business dual file system. Yeah, what is a dual file system? Describe the product directory structure. Identify the role of following directories. What is Apple top, common top, instance top, and also the directories that are introduced in specifically in 12.2. So we all know that we have a dual file system. One is an FS1 and FS2 to support online patching, right? So right. So we have two file systems, FS1 and FS2. I don't know why that's drawing. So this is FS1. It could be FS1 or FS2. So we can say this one is a run file system and one is a patch file system. And all the users will, log into the run file system. And whenever you are patching, the patch will be applied to patch file system. Specifically, we don't need to go to the patch file system. So you can be in the run file system. You can be in the run file system and apply the patches. Like for example, you specifically, you should not say that, oh, I'm applying a patch, I need to go to patch. No, it's not necessary. So you can be in the run file system and you can perform all the activities. So you need to be comfortable being an apps DBA with this FS1, FS2. Sometimes this may be run file system and this may be patch file system, or this may be a patch file system, this can be run file system, especially with related to patching and cloning. They play a very important role. Even adding a node also. So adding a node also, you guys need to know fair knowledge. And all our log files, the ADOP log files will be residing in this FSNE. Yeah, so this is a typical, like, you have the run FS1, FS2 run file system and the patch file system. So where we have the instance top, common top, Apple top, developer 10.1.2, and the new one is WebLogic server and the HTTP server. And on the database, we have something called edition-based redefinition, which we need to know. So we will discuss about this one also. What is this edition-based? Especially in Go for interviews, they really focus on that. And here we have all the logs.
Sir,
yeah.
When you say adding a node, it's mean you have to split the EBS application into two nodes or what?
Yeah, adding a node means you have, like for example, you have one application and one database. And now the company has decided to add a node. They decided to add a node. So this is the first node and this is the second node. Right. So it is like that. Adding a node which will be very comfortable. So it's a shared application file system. You will have your FS1, FS2, FSNE in a central location, and you just add a node. There's a how you do. There's a separate way how you do that. Yeah, but this is very much like tomorrow you may add one node, two node, three node, four node. You need to be very comfortable with how to add a node. Right. So yeah.
So when you add a node, you will put your concurrent processing server there.
PCP. On both of them, PCP. So if you have a two nodes, compulsory we'll have a load balancer. We have a load balancer. So users will come to here, and either they can go here or here. In both of them, the same servers are running. In my case, both of them on both the nodes, the same services are running. The web, the concurrent processing server, everything is running here. So regarding the PCP, for the concurrent processing server, we have distributed the concurrent managers. Most of them, they do that. So we run few managers here. We run few managers here. So that way we are distributing the load of the concurrent managers.
Sir, how we will do the patching? How will it happen?
Patching happens only from the one node. So that is a really good beauty that you don't need to do patching in both the nodes, because it's a shared applicant file system. Shared applicant file system means your entire file system is only on the in the central location. So both of them are just basically using the thing. So in that case, what will happen is this will become a master node. This will become a slave node. All become slave node only. So so this is the master node. You have to apply only the patches only from the master node. So automatically, once you apply the patch on the master node, automatically it goes on, applies on all the slave nodes. We really don't need to go to each of the node unless you have a shared applicant file system. 99% people have a shared applicant file system in 12.2. So that way we specifically don't need to go to each of the nodes, but we need to apply the patch on the only from the first node. So that will become like a master, and remaining all the nodes will become a slave. I think Kunvar is there. Yeah, Kunvar is also trying to implement a similar thing. Anybody worked on these two nodes? Yeah, but yeah, as an advanced user, once you become like an advanced user, like 5 to 6 years of experience, so surely this add a node, a concurrent processing server, a PCP implementation, DR, all these things should be in your things should be in your fingertips. Actually, in your fingertips, you should be. Yeah. So yeah, we are still in the basic things, but I'm just telling you at a high level. Yes.
I remember, sir, in one batch you show this. You use the Pound software. I think. I remember.
Pound. You remember? Yes. Pound software.
Yeah. Pound software for load balancing, and then you show this.
Yeah. Right. But in that was a Pound software. But now in the cloud, it is much easier. In on premises, normally they use a F5 load balancer. But in cloud, I implemented in cloud, right? I was also thinking in cloud, it's a software load balancer. So you have a software load balancer. You just have to create and add these compute instances. So these are all like compute instances. So this is a load balancer what you create in the cloud, and you add the nodes. And once the services are running, there is also a health check. So which will be running. Very interesting, but little bit advanced. Yes, everything you should start comparing with the cloud only in the cloud, because now on premises slowly very less customers are there in the.
So, sir, it's just behaving just like a rack for application side.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah. This is like this. Yeah. In my case, the customer has only one database, but they have two application tiers. Even one application tier goes down also, you have another application tier. But in this case, the admin server will only run on the first node. So there are like managed servers, but admin server is only from the first node. And since we distributed the concurrent managers, so few managers will run here, few managers will run here. All right.
Sir, mandatory we should have shared file system.
Yeah. Shared file system.
Or?
Yeah, it is. No, it's not mandatory. But you don't want to start applying the patches in all the nodes, right? You don't want to apply all the patches on that. Becomes in wherever we implemented. Wherever we implemented, it is a shared applicant file system only. I didn't find any customer with a non-shared file system. That is, it's not. Yeah, sometimes they call. Yeah, any more questions? Yeah.
Yes. So this is regarding, sir. So I am installed a two node. One node also I installed. So I want to upgrade 12.2 to 12.2.11 and 12C to 19C, but I am unable to download some patches, sir. It's giving error. It's something is telling unlock this password we want.
Yeah, you have to open an SR. Yeah, you have to open an SR. If it is asking for a password, then you need to open an SR, and they provide the.
I'm doing practice in my laptop, sir. How can I open it, sir?
Then in your laptop, you can only through company only we can open it.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, the two file systems sometimes are called
So
dual
will
file
you
system.
see this adding a node in practically in the
Yeah,
in this course?
we have this in our course. Yeah, we have in this course how to add a node. Once we go and upgrade with the current 12.2, I don't want to show that because 12.2 is very very unstable. So we'll go to 12.210 and I'll show how to add the node. How to add a node.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So sometimes they swap roles also, like, this is a run file system, this is a patch file system. And sometimes suppose you apply the patches and you do a cutover, then they both of them will swap the roles. So patch file system will become run file system and run file system will become the patch file system. Yeah. So all your log files, concurrent processing log files, ADOP log files are stored in this location. Right. So this is a typical structure, a baseline structure, which everyone has to get comfortable, for a long run. Like, normally you have like almost 5 folders. If application and database is on the same machine, you will find apart from these 3, FS1, FS2, FSNE, you will also find 12.1.0 and data. But if your database is in separate machine, and application in separate machine, you will only find FS1, FS2, FSNE. Like for example, I can really show that. Last week we implemented two node, right? So yeah, see if I'm in the database node, so you'll find only 2 folders, 12.102 and data. This is of course inventory. And on the application tab, you'll find again 2 folders. Right. If you go to D01 Oracle 2 node, you'll find only three folders: FS1, FS2, and FSNE. These are the 3 folders what you find. And under FS1 again, you'll have if you go to another FS1, you'll find subfolders called EBS apps, Fusion middleware, instance top. And you know what? If you have to clone, right? If you have to clone, you just have to go to the run file system, run the pre-clone, and only take EBS apps. We don't need to worry about this. We don't need to worry about this when we clone, right? We only have to run pre-clone on database, run pre-clone on application, and just take a tar of this file. Just take tar of this file, and that one you can copy to the target, and you can do the clone. Right. So yeah. So understanding this one, see if you see FS1 has as I showed you, EBS apps instance top Fusion middleware. Again, FS2 has EBS apps instance top Fusion middleware, and FSNE has this INST logs, concurrent processing logs. Apart from that, it also has some folders, ADOP folders, ADADmin. Like, if at all when you are applying the patches, right? For every cycle, it has some sort of a cycle which it creates some sessions. So they will be here. They will be under this. So if you're running ADADmin, those log files will be here. If you're running ADOP, those log files will be here. Yes. So yes. As and when you are working, right, try to observe this, take some time to understand understand all of this, right? Even I also go to, like, suppose I want to go to APPL log files. I go like this, APPL CSF, and from there I can go to log. I can find log files, and if I want to go to out, I can go to out files. So like that, there are a few things where you can you can go and directly go there. And like FSNE also, right? NE base, right? Yeah, maybe we have to go to the latest version, then you'll get it. There is something called NE base also, but right now it is there under FS1, FS2, and other one. Right. So right now, see FSNE. So here you can find all your things. And also let us see where our admin scripts home. like our start and scripts files. See, they are also under, they are under FS1 instance, this particular, in this particular location. So if you remember even this type of things, admin script, there are only few things which you day to day where you will be going. And also, like as last week, one of the session I was telling to troubleshoot, I have to go to EBS admin, EBS domain home. And from here, I go to servers. And here there will be 5-6 servers, admin server, your form server, your OA core server, and OAFM server. I was telling you, right? There are few things which I remember. Not many, not many. There are few tables you need to know. There should be few variables what you need to know to make your life more comfortable. So I go here and I go to logs, and I just immediately I'll tail it. I'll find out the issue. If there is an issue, then how to bounce it. How do you bounce an OA core? So you go here, SHAD. It's a managed server. So you say stop OA core server 1. So server 1, how to stop and start. So sometimes you have to only bounce OA core. So those type of things you need to know. In the document what I provided, I just provided how to do a start and stop of that. Right.
One question is that.
Yeah.
EBS apps you taken tar. You told you need to take tar before cloning.
Correct.
So is it a backup related thing? If something goes wrong, we need to, or
no. Like you want to clone from prod to test, right? So how do you clone? So first you need RMAN backup pieces, right? Okay, just maybe this is a discussion. So whenever you want to clone, so what are the things you need from the from the database point of view, from the application point of view? So for example, you have a production. This is your prod application tag, and you have a database. Now this is your database. So how you want to clone to dev? Cloning is a normal activity. Cloning is a normal activity. So for the database, what will happen? Normally, the company will have a RMAN backup, daily RMAN backup, or incremental backup. Weekly they will have a full backup, and remaining days they will have a backup. So whatever maybe, you have to. So now you have to clone prod to dev, right? So first you need to clone the database. So that one will be done RMAN. Suppose you have the RMAN backup, you do a RMAN duplicate. Whatever method you follow, you do a RMAN duplicate and give this name as dev, because this is a prod, right? So you want to clone, so you make it dev. So your database is cloned. So now what about application? So in the application, you have like 3 folders. So like FS1, FS2 and FSNE. So should I take everything? No, you don't need to take everything. You just have to go to FS1. Under that, there is a file called EBS apps. So that EBS apps folder, we tar it, and on the target machine, we move that EBS tar. But we before that, what we do is we just take a tar of the EBS apps. How do you you just take a tar of the EBS apps tar file, tar.gz, right? You take this file and you untar it, and then you do the clone. How do you clone? No, you just once you untar it, then you go to the clone folder and run perl add cfg clone.pl. What is the clone you want to do? Apps tired dual fs space dual fs. So then so you basically, once you untar it, the clone folder will be inside this, and you go to the clone folder and you run this command for the cloning. So that way you do this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. One more question. You visited this log file of OA core. So can you bring down OA core and show us error if possible?
I can only stop and start. I can only show.
Yeah, after stopping, what the log file will show us.
No, normally, yeah. If any error comes up, if any error comes up, right? We only have to. We see there are some error log. Maybe Java heap size error or anything that. So okay, there is an error. So the next thing what you do is you just have to bounce it, bounce the OA core. So errors, I cannot simulate an error. But if any error comes up, either from the console or from the backend, you can bounce, you can stop and start. Most of the issues will come only with the OA core only. So sometimes maybe the heap size, the Java heap size is very low. By default, I think it is 1 GB or something like that. Normally we give 4 GB. So yeah, because of that it may come. We see some errors, some Java errors, something like that. So then immediately, hey, there is a problem with the OA core, and we from the back end we bounce it.
Kishore, how many maximum users can be handled by OA core process?
See, you go with the base level. Initially, you go with the base level, and whenever the performance, whenever there's a performance issues, first thing is we increase the Java heap sizes. Like we made it to 4 GB, and we see we see the load, how it's happening, and still the issues are there. Then you can add the managed servers on the same server, on the same application tire. You can further add same managed servers. So that way you can see. So since we have here two application tires, so by default it comes with 4 managed server. It comes with 4 managed. We added another 4 in managed server with 4 GB heap size. So that way we saw that there is not much load, and we are not getting any complaints. So here we have 8, and here also we have 8. So totally we have 8 managed servers, and there are no complaints. So if further complaint comes up, either you have to think about increasing the RAM and sort of thing.
So can I answer this question, sir? Like I've gone through I've gone through the Oracle.
Please.
What Oracle was saying is like one OA core can handle approximately 150 to 180 concurrent users.
Nice.
150 to 180 concurrent users.
Yeah.
Sure, sir. I remember last class also you told me 100, approximately 100 you can handle a single OA core.
Yeah. So once you see,
and another question comes, how much maximum memory you can allocate to one OA core process? Is that 4 GB or it could be more than that?
Up to 8 GB is what we can do it, but that depends on the
how much memory on the local machine.
On the local machine. Yes,
how much memory?
Yeah, but usually we should not look at if you give a maximum memory, that could also have a performance issues. So rather like usually we are giving 4 GB as an average. Yeah, if it really requires, we may go to the 8 GB. But 2 to 4 GB would do a good job. 4 GB average limited.
Yeah, our compute instances are running with the 2 OCPUs and 30 GB. So even if you see, we have seen that it doesn't goes more than 30. Right? If it goes, the other option what you have is either you have to add another managed server. To say another node, or in compute instance you can scale up. Vertically you can scale up. Instead of 30 GB, you can go to the standard 2.4. So you can go to 60 GB also if still it is not working. That way, either you can go horizontally or you can go vertically. So both of them you need to be, comfortable, right? In cloud, that flexibility it gives you. Anytime you want to go vertically, you can go up, or you can horizontally. Means horizontally our commands only. Horizontally means it is our commands only by using the add node. All right. Okay. So yeah, any more questions you can ask me? Others, yeah, fine. So then we can go to instance top, and you can find a couple of folders. Maybe I will show live. This is just it is good to have this type of knowledge on all of them. I can say like 50%. Yeah, maybe not. Sometimes you may need all this information. Yeah, instance top. If you see, there's an admin and so many files are there. And in admin, what are there? Right, install log out scripts are there. So that's what he's telling. So admin contains the autoconfig tool. Okay, so this is very important. Autoconfig log and service control scripts It also contains scripts which get executed when autoconfig is run. And there's an APPL folder which contains the context file. Yeah, you can. This is another command, like normally I do this context file, because the context file is the place. Because this is there in the instance top, right? The context file is the place where the entire environment, how it has been set, it is there. And from here only, suppose you want to implement load balancer, we normally use, for example, I want to find the URL, and if you want to implement load balancer also, external load balancer, so you open this file and change couple of parameters and then run autoconfig. So that way this APPL TMP is a temporary location. How do you know? So that also you can type this APPL temp. Yeah. So APPL temp is, this is the location where your PLSQL output log files are there. Plus you have logs, Aura file contains 10.1 Oracle home folders, and SOA contains some IHG file. So these are all some of the folders under the instance top. Right. So again, when you come to EBS apps, if you come to EBS apps, again you have folders like this: APPL common. This common will have your common Java files, and okay, let me go there. Okay, first we'll complete this EBS apps, and then we'll come to common. So if you come to EBS, if you go to FS1 and then you go to EBS apps, you can find all the products. Now you can find 10.1.2, that's what it's telling, 10.1.2 APPL and common. So one by one we'll see. So if you go to APPL, right, here you will find all your products. So there are, I think I heard there are 200 products. So if you count it, I'm not sure how much count it comes, but these are all the products, like account payables, account receivables, inventory, these are all the environment files, right? So similarly, you have common also, which has Java, and also clone folder. That's what I was thinking, right? Whenever I have to clone, what I do, I have to go to clone bin, and here you can find your Perl at CFG clone, like dual FS. I was telling, right? Dual FS, first apps, then dual FS. Right. So you document it, normally you document it, you don't need to really remember. But since I am teaching you guys, my hands move much faster. But normally we document it, you follow in the companies where you go, they will have a clone document. You just follow that. And any changes, right? Normally, again, you have to update it. Lot of time what happens is, even a small thing, the client makes a big of, he doesn't compromise. Some of the clients are very tough, which is good only. So there is no document which should not get updated, which it will get updated. There will be some changes. So you have to see that clone document is up to date, especially the post clone steps. You miss one post clone steps, and the clients find out, and they say, so you're not fine, you're not doing correctly, like that. Those type of things will come up. Yeah. So here basically the main thing is the clone folder. In the common, you'll find the clone folder. Okay. This is the Fusion middleware. Under that you can find user projects, utils, WebTire, Oracle common. So these are all some of the folders which we can just go through. This is under Fusion middleware. One is this Oracle eBusiness Apple. Oracle eBusiness deployed in the Oracle Home under Fusion middleware. This directory contains all the configuration file related to OA core, forms, OAFM. Yeah. So basically it contains all the files related to this. And Oracle Com contains the JRF files. WebLogic server contains all the binaries to support Oracle WebLogic server. WebTire is for the HTTP server. Yes, you need to know, especially whenever you want to implement, you want to move to HTTP to HTTPS, then we may have to go to this WebTire. So that's the reason why I'm telling that 50% knowledge you may have to know, because you do not know when, which file you may have to touch, especially for patching. Especially while patching, you may have to go. Sometimes you may have to apply the patch on the WebLogic. So you need to set the Oracle Home. See, by default, if you see the Oracle Home, by default, if you see the Oracle Home, it is set to 10.1. 2. So if at all you apply a patch, it goes to 10.1.2, right? So sometimes you may have to, sometimes you might apply the patch on the WebLogic, so you may have to change the Oracle OMS, because whenever you apply a patch in the O patch, so the Oracle has to be set accordingly. So those things, those things will, for those things you may have to know. Right. So when you go to common tops, one is the clone folder where you have the clone directories. So whenever you run the pre-clone, right? Whenever you run the pre-clone, you have to, the clone folder will get updated. So that's the reason. Yeah. So we normally, what we do is whenever the cloning process, first we run the pre-clone on the DB tab, then we run the pre-cloning on the application tab. Whenever you run the pre-clone on the application tab, the clone folder will get updated. So it contains the file required for creating an identical clone of the current environment. So plus you have some Java files, shared libs, utils, web apps. That's what, not everything you may need it. See, if you see in all of this, I only feel clone folder is important for me. I rarely go to any of them. Right. Right. Again, if you see, so now he's talking about all the tops. So when you go to the APPL folder, you can find all the tops like admin folder, AD top. AD means apps DBA. AU means application utilities. FND means AOL. Application object library means it is FND. That is the only thing which has a different name. So these are all the product top, and it continues. There are so many products, right? So right. So you will find two environment files. One is a consolidated environment file. Plus you can find different products. So we can go there. So how to go there? If you go to APPL top, you can go, So this is the correct location. If you go to APPL top, you can find all of these products. That's what he's telling. You can go to admin. You can go to AD. AD means application DBA utilities will be available here. So that's the reason why if you run, if you run AD admin. So if you say which AD admin, it goes to that particular top. See, it goes to AD. Under that, it goes to bin folder because all our apps DB utilities are available here. So similarly, which FND Libra, just want to see. So this is under application object library. All our FND utilities, whenever you want to change the password. So which, how do you change the passwords? You use FNDC pass, right? So those utilities are available, under FND. Right, that's what he's telling. That where are all our files? Yeah, plus under the admin there are all of these files are there used for different purpose. Okay, so if you see there is a ADO wars file which contains certain files and directory locations, SQL scripts for use for upgrade, log and output files used by AD utilities. Sometimes a restart folder you have, and plus you have some configuration files. So like, if you go to admin folder and for example, I go to AD config, we should not change any of these files. Okay. These are all like used by your AD utilities. We don't need to change any of these files. So like, for example, whenever you have time, you can just go through all of them, but I'll show a few things which is required. For example, if you take APPL prod, so this file will have all the products which came with this particular release. So all the products will be there. What is the short name, full name? So these are all the products which came and what is the number of it. Right. And after that, they will tell you, okay, each of them. So the first one is application object library. They give you a complete description. So you can find the short name. You can find the short name and also the full name. So like that for all the products, how many products we have. You have a complete explanation. AD means application DBA, like that. So I don't say that you don't need them, but sometimes you can Suppose somebody says you somebody says you somebody says you AK. Somebody says common models. So you do not know the short form. So if you see, come here, you search for common models. The short form is AK, right? So that's what you can get through this, right? So then if you go to AD, you will have all your AD utilities, AD admin, auto config. So why not we go? So if you go to AD top and you go to bin, here you can find all our AD utilities. Here only you can find AD patch, right? If you can find AD admin. See, AD OP, I don't think it will be there, or it is there. Yeah, AD OP will be not be there in this release. So I'll take you to the latest release. You'll find AD OP, because in base 12.2, the AD OP will be not be there. But in the latest release, right? For example, I have a 12.29. So you can find ADOP. See, if you see, go to AD top and you go to bin and you find ADOP, because which ADOP? Yeah, right. See, if you see, this is the ADOP utility. So in the base 12.2, you don't have ADOP. After that only it was implemented. So that's what. So you find all of these utilities used for different basically for installation and maintaining your system. Auto config file also you'll find in this particular directory. So similarly, you have this application utilities. This is something like a inventory of all the custom code, right? All your custom codes, and also the seeded forms also. The seeded forms also. If you go to AU top and you go to forms, you go to US. Here you can find all the forms of all products. All the products FMB. If you have a developer, you can open them and you can also see the code what they've used. And also here there will be a template also, which will be used by developers. So they take this template and they take some library files and they use developer to build the new forms. Why? Because the look and feel from a custom form and the seeded form should not change. So that's the reason why they have to use this template form and the library files which comes, so that the look and feel will not change with the seeded forms or the custom forms. So that's the reason why they use this, right? So other day last week also I told, in AU top it's like an inventory of all the forms, but like for example, if you see AP, okay, for example, you see this, we have a file called AP, the corresponding FMX file. This is a source code. This is like a source code. So the corresponding FMX file will be here, in this particular folder. This is a run okay. US. Yeah. So you will find the FMX file here. See. So all the source codes of all the products, like let it be GL, let it be AP, let it be inventory, all of them will be there in the AU top, but the corresponding will be there in the that particular product. See, now I went to AP. So that's the reason why I'm only finding AP FMX, right? So tomorrow you have a custom top also. You have to have all your FMB stored here only. You should have all your FMB stored here, but the compiled version should be in the custom top. When custom tops comes up, well, we'll just talk about it, right? So that's what he's telling. There will be some forms, PLSQL, Java, Perl, resource file in this particular important folders only is discussing. Is not discussing everything. FND is like application object library. Like it also has some folders, including FND Libra, including FND Libra. Those folders are also available under. You can just go to FND top and you go to bin. You can find all the FND utilities. FND is passed for changing the passwords. Yeah, this is for consub is for running the concurrent manager from the Unix prompt, from the command prompt. API password is a new way of changing the passwords, which we'll discuss. FND load is for code migration. You can download and upload. FND load, suppose you want to do a code migration, you have to download from production, you have to upload. You download from development and you upload in the production. Yeah, so for that you use this FND load. So like that you have all of these scripts which we need to know, right? Plus you also have a Java top. In the common top you have a Java top. So, and all the jar files will be available here. And if you see, these are all the jars. These are all the Java. Each of the products will have the jar files, but they are centrally located in the common top. Right, for example, GL has its own jar files, AR has a jar files, but everything will be stored in the common top. Then apart from that, so this is the top directory. Like when you go to APPL top, you'll find APPL. So under that you have all of these products. This is all the, like in APPL top is the top level directory. AU top, if you can go to AU top, FND top, inventory top, AP top, GL top, like that there are so many top. Those are all the product tops for you. Yeah, so that's what he has given an example. And each of the product, again, now each of the product will have so many folders. Each product will have its own forms. Each product will have its own HTML. Each product will have its own media files. Each product will have its own reports. For example, if you go to a regular one is like, for example, if you go to AP top and you go to reports and you go to US, it's language based. So for example, these are all the reports of there is no runtime version. The source code and the runtime version for reports is same, right? So you can find all of that folders, whatever he has mentioned is available here. So this is very product specific. Each product has its own forms. If you go to forms, so you can find the forms, you can find the reports. So like that is, it has its own SQL file. While upgrading, it may use these folders, like that type of folders are there, right? Just every product may have these folders. Like that's why the reason why is given prod underscore. It could be AP top, GL top, any tops, right? So he has given, see, so some admin, there will be some driver SQL file. It may contain the upgrade files, or your SQL file may contain SQL scripts and PLSQL script used to upgrade data and PLSQL package. We should not touch these files. These are all comes with the current release. So basically, when you want to upgrade from one version to another version, the system will use it. So we should not touch them. Then you have a bin folder, like there is a bin folder where you can find all your utilities, FND Libra, Start MGR, AD admin, all this will be your runtime engines. Then form files, which I told you, the runtime files. This is like language specific. Like if you are having US and Arabic, so you'll have US folder and AR folder. So US will have English forms and AR will have AR files. So it will have the AR files. So it's like that. See, for example, that's what he's telling. US for American English and D for German forms, F for French forms. So it will be divided like this. So you'll also have a help file, which is used to help file. Whenever you save a record, at the bottom right, you'll find successfully saved the record. So that information you can get from the help file. HTML files, the Java files, library files, MDS files, metadata service files, media files, message files. So one for language, only one, like US MSP is for US and JA for Japan. So this is a patch. Don't get confused with this our patch folder. So this is very specific, used by your ADOP or AD patch. So we should not touch these files. So these are all used for this is used by AutoPatch. So report files you have, SQL files you have. So just having a this is an education material, and they go systematically. That's the reason I always feel good of these people, that they follow a process. So it is good to have once in a while how these folders, how these directories are there. Every year we brush up. So something is always it's there to learn. And when it comes to data, there are two folders. One is a data and one is a version, which I can show, live, right? So if you go to, there will be two folders. So one will be the Oracle Home. One will be the Oracle Home 12.1.0. That is the Oracle Home, like Oracle Home of 12.1.0.2. And other will be the data. So these are all the database files. These are all the DBF files, right? So there are only two folders. So when you go to Oracle Home, then again you can go to DBS to find your, if you go to DBS, you will find your init file, right? If any changes, if you want to do, you can either do the SP file, if SP file is used, or you can open your init file and make the changes. So those are the two folders on the database. On the database side, you only have two folders. And only thing is, you need to know is sometimes you may have to apply patches, maybe CPU patches. So at that time, you need to set your Oracle Home. You need to set your Oracle Home. When it comes to 19C, there will be two environment files. There will be two environment files, one for the container and one for the pluggable. So normally, whenever you have to apply a patch, you need to run the pluggable environment file. And then you need to, suppose you are doing, if you want to connect to apps, right? So if you want to connect to apps, we run the pluggable environment file. Suppose if you want applying some CPU patches, then you need to run the container. So it all depends upon the activity. But there are two environment files. You need to know that there is one container and one for pluggable. Whenever you want to connect to apps, so we run the pluggable environment file. And whenever you are applying the patches for the container, because Oracle Home is all on container, right? So you need to run the environment file of the container so that you can apply the CPU patches. 19C makes it more interesting, and 19C we cannot skip because the entire cloud, especially the OCI, and either you go to everywhere, almost already they have moved to 19C. Here you have less headaches. Either in 11.1.0.2, nobody. Either in 11.1.0, no, hardly we have any customers with 11.2.0. So most of the customers are either in 12.1.0.2. In 12.1.0.2, there is only one environment file. So you have safe. But when it comes to 19C, there are two environment files, which we need to know. Right. So a functional localization. So as I told you, suppose you are doing a business in two different countries. You're doing a business in two countries. One is USA and one is France, right? So one is France you're doing. So then in that case, this functional localization will come into a picture, and every country will have its own forms, reports, seed data, database tables. So you need to be little, it's a great opportunity if you're working on a globalization product. It becomes very interesting. So whenever you have to apply the patch, we need to apply a patch on US, we need to apply a patch on the corresponding language. First English patch, then the corresponding language patch. Right. For example, the payment processing feature of Oracle payables may need to be extended to provide a feature need for banks in other certain countries. Like in India also, it's called Indian localization. Similarly, Canada may have their own tax processing way, how they handle. So once you implement that particular language, then automatically all that features will come. That's pretty much about it. We have discussed what is a dual file system, product directories, Apple top, common top, instance top, and also list of the directories. So as I told you, whenever you are free, you go through that. But slowly, as you become an experience, you have to know these folders. Right. So next one is one more topic we'll take today. That is about key Oracle database suite database features. This is all the features what you get. Like for example, you implemented 19C, you get 19C features. So this one is still 12.102. So you'll find all the 12.102 features. So being a you being a database administrator, you should always know the features. This year I completed my 19C OCP 19C because I'm only update. I just do an update because I'm already a 12. I think I'm 11G. Yes, I was 11G certified, and after that I never went to 12C. So then I directly went to 19C. 19C is 084 if I'm correct.
Sir, do you have any certification for 12.2 application, sir? Did you do?
No. There is no application. As of now, they have not released it. I think since they want to close it out, right? That's the reason why they are not releasing it. Still, it is old version only they have.
No, they're not. See, our application will be supported for next 10 years.
Yeah, but yeah, somehow they are not not releasing that. Still, the 238 only. That is the oldest version what they have. Yeah. Right. Yeah, there is a 084 that people who are in the older version always update. Keep your 19C. I think that is the max I want to go because 11G was too old. The only advantage, the good advantage is you'll find all the new features and you'll be up to date. So in the companies, when you know the latest features, you can tell much better. You can talk much on that, right? So with that knowledge, actually this topic is really interesting. So you will understand what is there in the database. So when you log in, which schema, what is the first schema you touch? Like APPL syspub, APPL syspub, that schema is there. So also from APPL syspub, you connect to apps schema. After that, you don't connect to any of the schemas. So how it has been handled? What is that app schema? What is APPL syspub schema? App schema is the consolidated schema. APPL syspub is the only for login purpose. So we need to know the complete flow. So that's this particular topic will really help you to understand all of this. So if you take your database, it's made up of data objects, tables, indexes, sequences, hybrid objects, materialized views, code objects, views, triggers, packages. Basically your Oracle E-Business database is a huge database which includes all of them. And you can find so many schemas, like you can find app schema, you can find inventory. So here is only given 2 examples. So one is the app schema. First of all, app schema is not an owner of any table. App schema is not an owner of any table. He is the owner of views, packages, triggers, and synonyms. But if you connect to app schema, you can access all the product directories. So specifically, I don't need to go to inventory and check the, I can check the, I need to check the, what is the table name. Be connected as app schema, I can describe the tables of inventory, how it is done based on the grants. So this particular schema would have given the grants and the synonyms have been created. I'll just show you a small example. So if you connect to apps, okay, so this database is not there. Let me go to right. If you connect to apps and apps, see, and here you can connect to, you can access any table. You specifically, for example, I don't need to go to, I just want to find out a table in AP, right? So select a T name from tab. Okay, for example, I take Yeah, I'll just show you. Yeah, if you are connected to app schema also, you can access any of the tables. The reason is the synonyms and the grants have been given. So that's the reason why you are able to access, right? So what is a, I think I have to close this somehow, something is happening. I don't know if my things are working. Oh, none of my operations are working. 1 minute. Log the task. Did I log? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I logged the task bar. Okay, now it's good. Right. Okay, now I think this also will work. Right. So see, for example, show user. Right, I'm an AP. But you know what I do? I can connect to apps and I can describe the table. I don't need to go to, I don't need to say AP top. I don't need to say. I can be here also. I can access the table. How it is done? Based on synonyms and synonyms and grants. So so that's what he's telling, and you'll be continuing with that. So there are so many schemas are there. For example, there is some GL schema. So many tables are there. AR. So should I know all these table names? No. Should I know any? Should I know some of the tables? Yes. Like especially FND specific and FND specific and AD specific. Like there are very like described FND concurrent request. So this will have all the concurrent request like FND tables. Yeah, FND tables. So there are few tables, few of the tables where FND bugs. Right, few. No, AD bugs. Sorry. AD bugs. AD bugs. AD applied patches. Right, AD applied patches will have all the patches what you applied. So you need to have information about FND underscore and AD. Not many, 20-30 tables information you should have to get to get some information about that. Huh? Right. Okay. Yeah. So this is a very good diagram how the synonyms are been done.
You show you have one script. There is 3 script in the you want the patch.sql. You always has to put the.
Yeah, that is there from 1945. Nice. Yeah, but it is a very always it is a reliable script for me. Yeah, I see. For example, if at all, whenever suppose I applied a patch, I always use this. So it basically it goes through AD bugs, it goes to AD patch run bugs and AD patch drivers. So if a patch is available in any of them, it means that the patch has been applied. Right, so like that, few tables what we need to we need to know. Okay, right. Right. So in this is telling like synonyms are created. Hey, inventory schema has given grants to them, and from there the synonyms are been created. So that is the way how that's the reason why apps is called consolidated schema. So you connect to apps and you can access the tables of inventory. You can access the tables of GL. So that's why it is called a consolidated schema. Consolidated schema, very specifically name they given. So in a short, the app schema is not a owner of any table. So he's the he's the owner of views, triggers, packages of synonyms of all of them. So inventory will have inventory tables, GL will have GL tables, but all the packages, triggers for this schemas also will be available in app schema only. So that's one what we need to do. So that's what he says. If you see at the bottom right, each product grants full privileges to the app schema. The app schema has synonyms to the base Oracle tables. Therefore, apps is a universal access. So you don't need to go to, there are 200 products. Why should I go to each of these products, right? So that's why it's called a universe. You can connect to apps and you can access any of these tables. So there are some additional schemas also, which we need to know. So apps is not a owner of any tables, but he can access, there are very good important tables for an apps DBA, like AD applied patches, FND concurrent requests. So who is the owner of this? So there is another schema called APPL sys schema. And the password of apps and APPL sys is always same. Only when you change the password using FNDC pass, automatically both of the passwords will be changed. And there is this password normally we don't change. I don't think I have any of the customer place we change. The password is pub. APPL sys pub, public scheme. Pub means public. So the password is pub and we don't change it. Right. Right. Plus there are some payroll HR schema.
Sir, nowadays there is in the recent when there's one more application IDs from EBS system like this. This is like also apps.
Yeah, I saw that at one of the customer place. That is for system password. That system and that password is all the same. So maybe once you come to 12.210, that particular schema will come into picture. Yeah, 12.210 we upgrade. We'll see that. So there is a public schema called APPL pub, which is used for sign-on process. So this is for sign-on process. This is human resources, and all the owner of AD and FND belong to APPL sys, are stored in the APPL sys. See, this is the sign-on process. Very good diagram. So once any user connects, right, first he connects to APPL sys pub. APPL sys pub is not a owner of any table, but he has the there are some apps has granted some of the tables like FND user. So he gets logged in. The user will enter sysadmin. So he enter the username and password. So it gets validated. Once he validated, he connects to app schema. So after that he can access any of them. So only the main authentication is done by APPL sys pub, which is covered here. When you sign on to Oracle E-Business, you are initially connected to public schema. Once your username and password has been verified, Oracle E-Business connects to app schema and allows you to choose a responsibility. So once you're there, you choose a responsibility. You can then use Forms interface or HTML interface to access the data. So APPL sys pub, sometimes some people, some of you may try to change it. Actually, you should not change it. APPL sys pub and pub. Public. Yeah. And this is also hard coded in FND Secure. Eco FND Secure. So these are all like there's a security file, so where you can find it thing called QA DBC file. This is a DBC file. So if you see, suppose you have changed the password, then you need to take care of all of this. See, this is the guest user. If you try to change the password and if you forget, your problem. And also apps password should never be changed. Apps password should never be changed using alter user. If you change it, that's it. You're gone. The only thing is you have to restore from the backup. Never you should use alter user. Like, we should not use our alter user apps like identified by like this. We should never use. So if at all you want to change the password, apps password, okay. So you should use called what is that command? FNDC pass. Okay. So this is the place how you can change. And it will automatically change APPL sys password. So now, for example, apps password is apps, right? So for example, I change and make it welcome 123. So you can open the log file and you can see, right? So after this, what we do is, we run autoconfig on database and we run autoconfig on application. That's the way how we do. So how do you run? You go to, some people will not run on database, but I don't just, it doesn't take much time. I've been following from tradition. So I do that. So run the autoconfig from, oh, now I need to give the new password. So this one, actually, when I was sending my every week through Google Drive, I'm delivering first week, second week. In those things, I covered these exercises, how to change the passwords. I see now it is successful. So after this, it is done. You have to run the autoconfig. You should see your application is down. You should see your application is down and run the autoconfig.
Is this the connection request 1213 for the same Apple Syspub apps?
Yeah, you're asking. You're asking the changing the password is same, both in.
No. The connection.
Connection is same. The connection process is same both for 1213 and 12.2. Right. So there are very specific, tables for multi-language. Multi-language. Suppose you implemented multi-language. So there are some tables which _TL. So an Oracle E-Business Suite database uses _table to store translated information for multiple languages. So if you connect to this particular table, you can find there is one particular field. FND application TL stores translated information about all the application registered with Oracle Application Object Library. And also there are some views. There are also views which retrieve the correct language. So this use basically the TL in conjunction with the user session language. I'll show one example. People who are working on multi languages, they may have information about it. I will just open a new session. So now the new password. So it is apps welcome 123. Right. So we'll just say FND transition. What is this password? Application. So you will have a table called application, and also you will have a application _TL. Right. Here you'll have something called source language. So this is like, you'll have right now, I think if I'm correct, you'll only have English. Right. So you'll have only US. But if you have like another language, you may have one record for US, one language for France, or one language for Arabic. So that is what these tables are used, _TL. Yeah. So now we will just cover at a high level, database futures. What are the different database futures? One good feature is rack scalability features. Of course, rack is there right from 9 onwards, 10G, 11G, and it became very good in 12C and 19C. Also, we have now 19C rack. So plus rack comes with automatic storage management. Plus for monitoring purposes, you need AWR report. Monitoring features, you use AWR. We need to get comfortable. For any performance related issues, we only run AWR report. And we have OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager. On the cloud we have. So we have installed it, and we have attached, we have configured to our database. So it shows if any performance issue comes up, we connect to OEM, and it immediately shows like where is the imbalance. So some people use this automatic database diagnostic monitor, active session history, right? Performance is one of the what I can say. One it comes with an experience. Sometimes it is a tension thing. What nobody can escape it. Something is running 1 hour, so to next day it runs 2 hours, 3 hours, and not every customer not every customer is a cool customer. They will literally say it is running yesterday at 3 hours, and they make immediately, okay, let's connect, everyone connect, and they want it to be resolved immediately. It was running yesterday, it was running for 1 hour, now it's taking 3 hours. Why? And right. So yeah, so luckily you're working on a product, so that way your performance related issues are very less. But if it is handwritten queries, or somebody has written a query, so then it may come to you. So creating an index, yeah, performance itself is again a big ocean field, which you need to gain some experience on that to survive as a database administrator. You cannot escape it. I can tell you, if not now, tomorrow some other place they will some people will catch you, and it will be very hot when something going on production, and if you're not able to resolve, at least few simple things you can do. You can find out SAR 55. Normally I run a command called SAR 55. So this will basically immediately tell you how much is the CPU load, whether IO is loaded. So now it is idle, right? This is pretty good, right? This is a pretty good thing. And IO weight is also very low, so it is, which is good. So our backups are running, our gather schema statics are running. Then you run a AWR report. So you try to get the five long running queries and try to troubleshoot it, right? So those type of things what you really do. Yeah, so these are all the features. We'll just go at a high level. I'll not cover very deep, but yes. So in our course, I'll be showing you this installation on 8x. So we will have the rack. I'll not cover the theory part, but I'll show the installation part. On 8.6, I've successfully installed. So you can have a Oracle VM, 2 Oracle VMs, and successfully install 2 database nodes. At least if you work on 2 database nodes, whether it is 10 nodes or 20 nodes, doesn't matter. At least you should be good. And also the thing is, if you work on rack, right, then you covered Exadata also, and then you covered ExaCS also. ExaCS is something in the cloud, what they call. So if you are good in rack, if you pick up your skills on rack, you can work on Exadata, because most of the people in my company, they do not know nothing about Exadata, but they are working on Exadata from a couple of years. And in the cloud, it is called ExaCS. So there also it's a 2-node rack only. The name is big, and also there is a lot of money. Like people who work on ExaCS and Exadata, they earn double the money what a rack administrator is doing. So working on ExaCS is much easier as compared to working as an Exadata, because an Exadata means storage. Also, you need to take care of the storage administration. But once it comes to cloud, right, the entire storage part is taken care by the Oracle people. They don't give the storage to you. So that way you are safe. If you get one customer like that, if you get a ExaCS customer, that's it. Your life is, and because the performance is very good in Exadata, so you'll not find any performance related issues, right? So you have a private connect, your database, you have the application database here. So even one node goes down, you have another node. It gives you high availability, failover, load balancing. These are all some of the features of Oracle RAC. At my customer place, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Please. I'm waiting.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So yeah, Exadata and Oracle Labs. Yes, these all the stuff pretty good. So is Exadata implemented, the Oracle application implemented on Exadata, in other words?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So if
Yeah.
I learn Exadata, example, I'm just saying I'm already, but Exadata, then apps, so that is, there will be a combination, right? Exadata.
Yeah, that combination is very good.
Oh,
Yeah. Exadata is very, because it's for a bigger database, right? So normally for
yeah.
big databases, they have to go for Exadata. So in my company, we have, Mahesh Bolke, one guy is there. He's also working on Exadata only. And there will be long term only. If you get an Exadata customer, and it will be really long term project only, and performance related issues will be very less if you work on Exadata. Regular activities like just patching, cloning, and once you get the grip over it, that's it. It's very good.
Practice. That's what I'm saying. I'm practicing
Yeah.
Exadata.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and for more than smaller databases, you can find. I will do 2 node on Exadata. Yes, Spencer, good. Right. For smaller database, you'll find very, very less Exadata customers. But for e-business, you'll find more customers. And Oracle is promoting ExaCS to the core. They are literally doing that as much as possible. They try to sell their that ExaCS product. Right. So a rack installation coordinates each instances to a shared data to provide data consistency and integrity. So that's the reason. Maybe you're 5-6 years. So try to gain confidence on rack. If you gain confidence on rack, then you're automatically upgraded to Exadata and ExaCS with little bit of knowledge is enough for you.
In Exadata, only DBs are maintained, right? For rack application, separate node will
compute
be
instances. Yeah. Application is always on a compute instance, only database only.
Oh.
Yeah. So your applications are always normally in the compute instances. Only your database is on a rack. Yeah. But for one, So our one of the customer, the database was running on DBCS. There in cloud. In cloud, we have Exadata, we have DBCS, we have compute. Initially, we used to run on DBCS, so that was taking like $100 every day. $100 every day. So eventually, the customer was not happy with $100 per day. So then we moved from DBCS, which was running on grid infrastructure, to compute instance. Compute is very cheap. Oracle compute is very cheap. It's only cost $10 to $15. And the IOPS, on fly, we can increase the IOPS to 25,000 IOPS we increased, and the reports were running like 1 hour, which were taking like 3 hours. They were running like 1 hour. And also the billing also came down. The customer is very happy now. There is another customer. First they were running on 2 node, then they stopped 1 node, and then they they don't want this DBCS. They don't want this grid because patching, right? Very complex grid. Grid means grid patching and database patching is there. So then they came to file system. So it's all, we cannot tell customer to customer how they think, right? So all our performance tunings can be done with AWR. So it runs every 1 hour, generates a snapshot. You can also run anytime. You get a report. You can run a report and find out what are the bottlenecks. Yeah. So in the previous, I did a Exadata last time. Yeah, I have 19C. I just need to break that how to install a 19C. I haven't find a notes how to install Exadata on Oracle VM. At the max I went to 12C, but once I break it, once I'm able to install a 19C, then I'll start a 19C and Exadata. I have the documentation, entire documentation I have, but only that I want how to do the installation on 19C. Even in the training, a lot of people who are attending, this only 12C max they're going. 11G or 12C. They're not going to 19C. Yeah. Right. So AWR, this is the best tool. Try to gain the knowledge on AWR. Whether you are a young guy, whether you are an experienced guy, try to gain knowledge on this. Maybe if somebody if somebody is teaching you, somebody in the company is doing performance tuning, try to get involved in it. You don't get the performance tuning is such a vast field. So sometimes you have to learn from other people, and eventually, if you're lucky, you can you can figure out the issues. So that's the only thing. I had a lot of issues comes up with this. So you do like this, that. There's so many things you do. Yeah, right. I can just tell that. Try to get as much as knowledge. There are so many courses I have purchased. But once they, I'm not, I can say 1 to 10, I fall somewhere under 6 or 7. That's all. So I attend there, I go through the videos, but still, suddenly a live position comes up. You are like, you don't know what to do. Huh? Right. So plus you have also ADDM. ADDM even works with OEM also. So we use OEM. So if any performance issue comes up, it shows immediately. Oh, there's a performance issue, and we can see what's happening. Active session history. These are all the things. Plus resource manager is another feature where you can distribute the server CPU. Partitioning. You don't do, especially in Oracle E-Business. You would never work on partitioning. Already the partitioning is taken care for whatever tables the partition is taken care. But it's a future. So being a DBA, you need to know these futures. So performance, yeah. So even here it is OATM model. So earlier days, way back in 11.5.10 on the time, every schema was residing in one tables, 1-to-1. One schema, one table space. But now it's not like that. So we have less tables, like, one tables, you have a big table space for all the data. You have, you have a separate table space for media. You have separate table space for indexes, right? How do you know? There are only 15 table spaces, I think, if I'm correct, around 15. So if you can.
I think 12 are dozen table spaces.
Yeah. So if you say SQL plus and you go to welcome 1, 2, 3 and say select star from DBA table spaces. Yeah. So you just get the table space. It will be less like, maybe 10 to less than 15 only. Yeah. See, yeah. So these are all like undo table space, data table space. Earlier, I still remember I was working for one of the customer 11.5.10. You'll find 200. You'll find 200, and then we migrated them to OATM model. That was one of the requirement when you upgrade, right? When you upgrade, there was one of the customer where we have to move to OATM. OATM means only less table spaces. So that is one of the features that is called OATM model, Oracle Application Table Space Model. Then you have EDR. Yeah, this is a good feature. Even they asked in interviews also. Okay, Kishore, what are the new features of database? So this is edition-based redefinition. Yes, for the application. See, for the application, you have separate file system, FS1 and FS2, right? So FS1 is for run file system and FS2 is for patch file system. Now, how it is able to do in database? Are we having two databases? No, we only have one database, but how is able to handle it? So, using this edition-based redefinition. So it maintains multiple copies of application code. It creates a new edition as a child of existing edition. It makes changes to the child edition while the parent edition remains available. So it maintains a duplicate copy. So that concept is called edition-based, but more we'll discuss later on. But this is the future. In the database, you don't have two databases. So it maintains a table and a copy of that, and all the patching will happen to the second one, and the first one will be used by the users. So that's why it is called parent-child relationship. So, okay, there are 3 file system: run file system, patch file system, and non-edition file system. Right. So yeah, what is use of run edition? It is used by online users, never changed by a patch. Patch edition is used for the patching. Changes do not affect the running of the application. Yes, any changes you do, it will not apply to the run file system. And there is also an old edition. Yeah, so this one, like it is in the database, it's maintaining multiple editions, right? So sometimes, so if there are some performance issues, we have
baby
to,
tablet ichina mommy.
Yeah.
Iyala kada mar tinangane.
You can mute. Yeah, Srikanth, you can mute. Yeah. So yeah, so this, like, sometimes you have to purge them, especially if there are too many editions are there. You may have to, you may have to purge them. So totally there are 3 editions, even in the database also. Even in the database also, in the file system you can physically see. In database you cannot see, but you have to imagine that there are 3 editions in the databases. Okay. Yeah, so this is what, edition based only is talking about, edition and not edition. So code objection should be editioning, like this, which are edition. Edition is duplicate copies, you can think. The database automatically manages multiple copies of these objects. So what are those? Edition objects are like PLSQL objects, views, edition views, triggers, types, synonyms. So these are all like duplicate copies it maintains in the database. There are some non-edition, means which are not duplicate. Storage objects do not support editioning. Online patching uses advanced features of EBR to manage this object during the patching cycle. So it Oracle has online patching uses advanced features of EBR to manage this application. How it does. We have some examples which I will go through, but these are all the non-edition, because they cannot make a duplicate copy of a table. If a table size is 1 million, they cannot create another table. So only few tables few of the objects it can make duplicate, but it cannot do for everything. Right. So you see, actually they are covering here only. Edition views and application data model. So if the table is like FND table, right? So one will be an edition view, and one will be FND table. Like how it is maintaining. So if you take edition views and application data model, so you'll have this is a view and this is a table. So edition views can be thought of providing a cover layer. So this is a views. This is the editioning view. Can be thought of provisioning a cover layer or a logical representation of a data on top of a physical representation. Edition views project different views of a table to the run and the patch edition if the data model table is patched. We will see in the next line, they will show you how it is maintained. Yeah, here they are not covered that, but I'll cover later on in one of the topic. They covered when online patching. In online patching, they covered in more deep how they maintain it. Right. So all your start stop scripts of database are also available in this particular location. We'll go to that location. If you go here and if you go to Oracle Home and you go to application utilities and scripts, and here you can find the start stop scripts. For example, if you want to start if you want to stop the listener, you can stop like this. If you want to start the listener, you can start the listener. So similarly, if you want to stop and start the database also, there is a script, but I normally don't follow them. So we have a script like, ADSTB start and stop, normal, immediate, abort. But normally I use my regular commands. But by default, Oracle also has provided the scripts for you. Right. So there are 4 scripts basically. One to start and
DB listeners on both the nodes, or only one node will be maintained?
In rack,
in rack.
In the rack, you will have listeners in both the nodes. For the you will have the 2 database listeners, right? One for each of the nodes. Yes, you'll have 2 listeners each, because that is the way only it can listen, right? Outside people have to connect. Means there is a scan listener. Yeah, see, there is one thing called scan listener. So scan listener is max 3. Yeah. So even though you have 10 nodes, you only have only you can have max 3 scan listeners only, right? And there is something called local listener. Local listener is every node will have one local listener. So scan listener is basically first it listens, and that fellow will find out who is the least loaded, and he will send that particular request to that particular local listener. So local listener. So every node will have a local listener.
Sorry. Actually, my question was local listener. Can we maintain on rack, means on both the nodes, or we?
No, we have to maintain. See, local means he has told local. Local means every machine should have one local listener. Every node will have a one local listener. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there are basically 4 scripts. One to start and stop the listener, and one to start and stop the database. Yeah, he basically told how to start and stop the database. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I have. Maybe remaining topics we'll cover. We'll cover tomorrow. So if you have any queries, if you have any queries, you can ask me. Otherwise, we are done with installation. Okay. So we'll catch up tomorrow with some more interesting topics. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.